Whatever you want. Hey, good morning.
Morning from Belize. Good morning from Belize.
Woo,
From the
and
shy.
Vegas in the house.
The shy.
Hey, the shy up in
Is
the
that what they call
house.
it? The shy?
The
Shy.
shy. That's right. Nice and
Ah.
short.
Oh, okay. Okay.
We
All
ready,
right.
Tracy.
We are ready for
We
what you
supposed to be-
want Wednesday. We don't need no music.
No, we don't.
All right. Welcome to Me Moments in the Morning, goddesses. How is everyone out there today?
We're good, Tracy. What about you?
I'm feeling pretty good this morning. And I'm loving the topic because it's a what you want Wednesday. Not just what you want, what you want.
Whatever you want.
Whatever you want. Look, I heard Rihanna in my head. Mountain Spirit heard Barry White in her head. What you hear, Val? What you hear when we said what you want?
I heard. I don't know. I heard Marvin Gaye.
Did you?
I don't know why I heard Marvin Gaye.
I take some Marvin. I love it. All right.
I heard Marvin.
All
Yeah.
right.
I like your little Afro puff, your little
Yes.
all up there. Yeah, I like that.
Thank you.
And we're gonna say hello.
She growing on out.
We like.
Good morning, Joyce.
Good morning, Joyce.
Good morning, Auntie Joyce. Good morning. So listen, last week in Clubhouse, so you know we go from the podcast to the club, right? For Me Moments, it's all Me Moments, but we go over to the club and we usually continue the conversation a little bit from here. We talk about our gratitude, our intentions, and our affirmations, right? And one goddess this past weekend was just like, she read this excerpt from the Slay Bible, of course, from Slay, Self-Love Awaits You. Yes, I always have it's my book. I should have it, right? Anyway.
All right.
So she read this excerpt and we were all just like, whew, okay, wait a minute. So let me just read that little piece to you, and I'll read the whole passage in just a second. But it was, we can want what we want, all we want, without the intention of receiving it. The wanting is pointless, right? And you know what came to my mind was, people talk all the time about. People talk all the time about like, I want a Lamborghini, or I want this, or I want that, but it's not something they believe they can have. So why even play that game? I'm like, okay, so what is it that you really want for your life? Is that something that you really want for your life? All right, so I'm gonna go ahead and read from page 125, y'all. I'm on 125 if you're following along. Let me just pull my Slay Bible up because it's doing some other things over here. It's got a mind of its own today.
Rebuke it in the name of Jesus.
Whoa!
Can I get some of that Barry White real quick though?
Whatever you want.
Yeah.
Yes.
Deeper.
Got it.
Whoa. Whatever you want. Y'all know I'm not gonna be able to get that out of my head today.
Of course not.
No, you're not focusing on finding the quote. Okay. That's what you're supposed to be doing. Everybody do their job.
I'm focused.
We sang.
I'm focused. I want y'all to sing. Keep singing. All right.
I'm never ever gonna quit. Quitting just
so
ain't my.
We don't have the quote. Is that what it is? Is that why we're singing in the blank space?
What? No, we singing because we like to sing. So we're all right. So I'm over here on page 125. I'm about a quarter of the way down. Intentionality is one of my favorite words. It means the fact of being deliberate or propulsive, the quality of mental states, thoughts, beliefs, desires, hopes that consist in their being directed towards some object or state of affairs. What do you intend to have? What do you intend to do? Who do you intend to be? We can want what we want, all we want, but without the intention of receiving it, the wanting is pointless. Intention, intention, intention. Did I say that enough? Intention.
Yeah. You have my attention.
Intention is what this Slay Essentials underlying theme is. With intention, you must understand that when you are unsure or wishy-washy about whatever it is you are intending, you are vibrating at lower levels of energy. Therefore, things in your life will reflect that and present in that way. So you'll be off kilter. You may feel unsure, imbalanced, and totally out of control, blah, blah, blah. But in these times of discordance, the best thing to do is back away from the desire you are attempting to manifest and don't do anything, right? When you're feeling like out of sorts and just you unsure about it. We put things in the atmosphere all the time and we talk about what we want all the time. And then we try to figure out why we don't have it or why it's not coming, right? And I'm just saying you got to vibe with it. If you're not in vibrational alignment with it, then you're out of place. And sometimes it's just time to fall back.
Okay. And when should we fall back? When we realize
when you're out of alignment, when you don't feel connected to something.
Okay.
Right? So let's say, okay. So
for example,
let me tell you about my divorce, right?
Okay.
I was going through the motions of finding a lawyer and trying to do all of these things. And I'm like, oh, I got to find a lawyer. Oh, I got to find a lawyer. So in my mind, I wanted a lawyer to just handle all of this stuff.
Right.
But the more I sought them out, the more I realized they all wanted something that I didn't want. They wanted this knockdown, drag out fight. And I'm like, what are we talking about? Everybody I went to. And I remember just finally getting to a point where I just prayed about it. And what I heard was, don't do anything. Don't do anything. I'm like, don't do anything. What do you mean? I got to do something, right? I have to do something. This is going to happen. I have to do something. No, don't do anything. So I'm like, okay, Spirit, I'm not doing anything. And it wasn't until I got a phone call from my ex-husband and he said, oh, yeah, I met this lawyer and he said we can do this way. And, I set up a meeting for us, da, 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 da. That's when the light bulb went off and it was like, oh, okay, yeah, let's do that. So we go and we're having this conversation with this lawyer and he talks to us about a dissolution of marriage. And then toward the end, he says, well, I can only represent one of you. So da, da, da. I was basically packing my stuff, leaving like, oh, this is why I was supposed to do nothing because it was already handled. It was already taken care of. I put my intention of dissolving it into the atmosphere, right? But then I tried to put my own, I'm getting in action. Sometimes everything is not for you to do something about or have control over. Mm-hmm. And so I had to back away from trying to control it. I surrendered. There's that word again, right? I surrendered and I just let go. Mm-hmm. And once I did that, everything else fell into place, right? So what you want. What do you intend to have?
You know what happened there, Tracy? Your intent became greater than their intent. Imagine like a scale, right? A scale of justice.
Yes.
They have their intent and they're maxing out. They're putting in all their pieces in there. All of their bricks are on the scale. Now you just have to put like a feather on yours, because all you need is to outweigh. You don't have to be 10 times bigger than their intention. You just have to outweigh theirs. But what happens is, for the most part, when we see that the other side also has an intention against us, we now surrender to their intention.
Right.
So we become the feather on their side of the scale. So that's why it's important to be really clear when you go into something, because that's what helped you too. You were clear. It's like, no, I don't want that. That clarity makes your intention stronger, way heavier, have more value than their intention. So for me, that's the formula. That's the goal. Whatever your intent is, my intent has to be bigger than your intent. My intent has to be stronger than your intent. So that's why we can't bullshit ourselves. If you don't really want it, don't play.
Don't play.
Don't play.
Yeah, my father used to have a weird saying, either mess or get off the stool. And I'm like, Dad, what does that mean?
That's it. But I think that's where either shit or get off the pot, right? Because it's like, why are you sitting there?
Right.
What
and it's a matter
possibly have to sit on a toilet.
What's your intention for sitting there? Not just to sit there, right?
Right.
And it's a matter of just being very decisive about what you want. And I'm grateful to hear that when people present it to you, Tracy, oh, well, let's have this happen. And you were clear in your mind, like, no, this is not what I want. And to be surrendered, that's a learned behavior, to be surrendered to the situation, especially if we're thinking, oh, we want to control it and releasing control. That is a form of control when you surrender, because that means, I love that when you're able to go, no, I'm not going to fight this. What you all are presenting to me, I don't want. And that is so good when we are clear about what we want. Oh my gosh.
Absolutely.
It's a type of surrender because you're surrendering to your higher self as opposed to their lower self or your lower self.
Yes. Yes.
That constant. Yeah. I see. You saw the evidence, right? And then the universe manifested it.
Right. Yes.
Oh, that's what you want. So the universe said, whatever you want.
That's right.
You got it.
I want this divorce.
I want a happy divorce. There is such a thing.
All of the things that come along with it. Happiness, yes.
There is such a thing as a happy divorce. There is such a thing as a happy divorce. I can't say much about my happy divorces because they follow me on YouTube.
Danger, stalker, danger.
We still talk. Stuff happens. And the beautiful thing is nobody's really trying to get back together, right, Tracy? Because you kept having dialogue and communication. We're not trying to get back together, but we're maintaining a human relationship. We had children together, for heaven's sake.
And that's the goal.
Sense. Right. To be enemies.
Yeah.
So I wanted to I wish Marie was here, because to me this whole wanting thing is like seeds.
It is.
It is.
And well, I'm a seed person, right? What does a seed need to sprout, to grow, and to flourish, to be a strong tree? And so our wants or our intents, right? Because they're all mutually inclusive. We can't just abandon them, and we also can't feed them toxic foods. And when we share our dream or our vision or our intent with someone and they toxify it, yes, they're feeding it toxicity, but that's you. You are the one who let them feed your dream because your intent was not strong enough. But I think those people who go around crushing your dream and slandering your intent and telling you, oh, you can't do this, it ain't going to happen, they have a different effect in that they test us to see if we're serious about what we want. And that's why they piss us off so much. because they make us face ourselves, and then we have to say, wait a minute, it's like we have to surrender to our higher selves. It's like, no, well, my spirit don't really want that. My ego wants a diamond ring, but I really need to just pay the mortgage, you know, or my kid's school, right? Or the rest of my college tuition. So, right. So, those wants, you're right, they have to be in alignment.
I think back to the relationship, and I don't know. For me, I've never been married, so I have to think about the ones that impacted me the most. There was one that I had where his intention was not to be romantically linked, but for some reason I heard, Brian McKnight and other musical love songs in my head, like this is gonna happen. But his intent was, no, you a homie. We ain't dropping in love, but we just gonna be the homes. And I remember thinking, is this enough? And my higher self said, no, it's not. It really isn't. I mean, you're settling. That word, that's a curse word.
What about all the people who saying, girl, that's a good man, and you're not getting any.
Oh my gosh, how many people said that to me? Yeah. Oh, Josh,
they're not gonna find anybody else like him who's gonna love you like that. He'll grow on you. You don't gotta love him right away.
He'll grow on you.
Like a fungus.
It's the same thing with a job, though, right?
It is. It is. Same thing with a job.
That good job.
We force it. I see it. It's like you're trying to force ripen your spirit. You can't do that.
Can't do it.
You cannot force ripen your higher self. Hell no. You have to give it exactly what it needs. There's no getting around it. I found out the hard way, but I found out.
Yeah. And I think that I have. There's a scripture that says, guard your heart, for it's the wellspring of life. And I had to think about it, like, why am I allowing myself to be, all lovey-dovey and in love with love and just flowing with the flow of that? And I had to go, no, there's a reason why it's stated, like, I'm trying to guard my heart, because my intent might be, I want to get with you because you look like this, or you talk like this, or we both love the same movies. But ultimately, if that's not what's meant to happen, it's not going to happen. And my thing is that I would have settled if I tried to force the issue, like, you're going to be my man. Because, I didn't want to go with the Jennifer Holiday, and I'm telling you, I'm not going. I ain't going. Ain't nobody trying to do that.
You're gonna love me. And you
scream and shout. You can say what you want.
Put your ass down. You have an epileptic seizure.
Exactly. No, it ain't that serious.
No, not for you.
No, not anymore. Maybe when my hormones were raging like 15 years ago, but now I look back at that like, girl, you were tripping. My Lord. And look what you were saved from. Now you see him.
That's
and
a
you
thing.
see what he's doing, and you're like, I would have been married to that.
Yeah, or dead, because you'd have killed yourself.
Ended up somewhere at the bottom of the Hudson. No, absolutely not. Absolutely not. Nope. I know. Yes, we have to know what our intentions are. Be true to that, and be true to, as you said, Mountain Spirit, our higher self, and learn how to surrender. Tracy, that's key. Learning and knowing how and when to surrender. Yes.
You said you just said, like, being in love with love. There are so many people that are in love with, I want to be in love, I want to be married, I want the wedding, I want this, I want that. And it's like, okay, what is the intention behind it? What is your intention behind it? Right? And is this something you are in alignment with? You're saying that you want somebody to come in and to love you and to take care of you and do all of these things. But have you aligned yourself with the truth of love by first loving you and treating you as you want somebody to come in and treat you? right? Because I'm like, no, I am a goddess. This is what I have to do for me first, right? So I'm doing these things for me, and the right person then can come in rather than me. I gotta be in love. I gotta be married by the time I'm 32. Girl, I'm like, what? 32? Like, but you know, people kind of have all of these different ideas as to what they think they want. And all I'm saying is take a step back, kind of really look at your life, look at the picture, and look at, you know, what it is that you truly want.
See, that's it, right? Looking at the pictures, they're indicators. Our life will show us indicators. Like, you want a loving relationship, you prayed for a loving relationship, but he beats the shit out of you every day, and he kicks the cat, and he takes all the money and all of that. But this, you convince yourself that this was God's answer to your prayer.
Ooh.
Yikes.
Right?
Yeah.
And
so
then
you
you
have
stuck
to
in
look
some
at
shit.
the indicators. Oh, this must be what you think love is because you're taking it.
No,
You know?
there is a clear definition of what love is. And my thing is, it doesn't beat you. It doesn't
kick the cat.
mistreat you. Doesn't kick
Doesn't
your
kick the
Oh my,
cat.
doesn't kick the cat. Oh my gosh. It's patient. It's kind. It does not keep records of wrong. It's patient.
Forgiving.
It's
Yes.
forgiving.
Compassionate.
And compassion. And these are things that we can learn about to do for ourselves. I can be patient. I can be kind with myself. And my thing is that how can I love someone else and demonstrate that type of love if I'm not doing that for myself?
Yes.
Be patient with myself. Valerie, Tracy, Mountain Spirit, be patient with yourself. Be kind to yourself. Say kind
Give yourself
words.
grace. Right.
Give yourself
Speak
grace.
love and life to you. Absolutely.
You. Yes.
Oh,
You are a goddess.
Come on with it, Mountain Spirit.
I have to say something about, well, because I'm getting with the light body, right? We're at the point now where, because it's 7 colors that you go through and you learn how to nurture that light frequency in your life. So we're up to indigo now, and this is the point where you go back to the other colors and look at the balanced state of your life, because indigo is visualization, introspection, intuition, and really holding hands with your spirit guides, really holding hands with great spirit, right? When you're in communion with the divine constantly, as much as you can, all the time. Okay. So it's when you get there, when you're nurturing that color, that you bring in the visualization and the placing of intention and thought forms, because at that point now, that color is, you're working on making that color vibrant and making it stronger and making it work. So it's there that you now start bringing in the red, and you go into the red and you look at the balanced state, because the course gives you what your balanced color state looks like. So you know what the balanced red is, you know what the balanced orange, what the balanced yellow, the balanced green, and the balanced blue. So, and you have it in writing, and we work through it in the different levels. Well, you work through it in the different levels. So now that with the mind open, which is where the third eye is, we at least have a vision, a written vision of something that you can, it's almost tangible, right? So that you can have a picture of what you would look like in a balanced red, in a balanced yellow, in a balanced orange. Now, the reason that's important is because we're always told, oh, you guys got to be in alignment, you got to balance. We don't know what it looks like. Oh. And what reminded me is like what you just said. Okay, so indigo, yes, it's compassionate, it's understanding, it listens well, it's all of these qualities. And the same thing, with blue. Blue is an eloquent speaker, a compassionate listener. And so all of these things all mean something, but the understanding becomes more, clearer when you take them like this, step by step, in feeding the light body. So the course is about feeding the light body in these different levels, one at a time. Yeah.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah.
I love that.
Good. Yeah, that is. So what do we want? What should, and here's a real question. What should we want?
Now ask yourself the question, what you want.
If you don't have it at this level, like if you don't have it in a way that you can either express it or see it or hear it or smell it, if one of your senses can't make contact with it, it's not, you can't bring it into reality. So that's why it's not working.
Yes.
Okay.
So find something that is in your senses. And that's what Tracy means by alignment. It's already in alignment with your life. Like look for the things that you already have, and bring them in. And Belle's got all them songs in her head. Oh my God.
Yeah, they just populate. They come in and they say something, and I'm going, all right, what's going on? You like
never in my life met someone or heard of anyone who's like, whatever you hum a few bars and she's there.
Right? That's it. I love it.
That comes from being a DJ, and that comes from lots of years of just being around my dad. I have a very beautiful memory of my father. He played this reel to reel, and this is going back in the day, and I was sitting in his lap. My mother would be like, Bill, why you got that baby and you blasting the music in the baby's ears? But I used to love sitting there and listening, and there was a song called Street Life by the Crusaders. And it was something about that song. I forget what she's talking. I think she's talking about a woman being like a prostitute and she's in the street life or whatever.
Didn't matter.
Doing your business in the street.
The business in the street. Well, whatever the musicality of it, and the Crusaders was a group of musicians that were just jazz musicians that were just excellent. And Randy Crawford's kind of like that street life, doing that, and just and I just hear my father I just see him rocking. I'm rocking with him, and he's just really enjoying it and stuff. And I'm just like, when I hear that song, I go back to being in the basement, being there with my dad, just enjoying music. And that's where that love comes from. Yeah. And I feel if what we want is love, let's be intentional about loving ourselves well. Yes. I feel like that is the best way. And the best, there's other ways to look at love, and what you've seen on television, that's not it. That's not it. So we have to be intentional about that love toward ourselves, and be patient, be kind, and honor that, and don't settle. Surrender and don't settle. I love that.
But when you love something, don't you seek to understand it? Doesn't it open up your seeking spirit about whatever that is?
Yes.
And most people don't look to understand themselves. They're very, very much looking to understand life out there. And I call to anyone who has ears to listen, look to understand this.
Go with
whatever, the back of your hand. Find something about yourself to understand better. Why your farts smell the way they do. Anything
about you. Really?
I'm just saying, right? Why do I go
if I'm eating a lot of meat, my farts are going to smell horrible. If I'm eating a lot of vegetables, they're going to smell great.
You're only going to find that out if you start studying yourself and looking into, there was a song actually. What is it? Angels in the Architecture. Why am I but with Paul Simon? My God!
I don't know that one.
You could call me Al or something like that.
Oh, I know that song.
In the middle, remember?
Yeah. You could be my bodyguard.
Right,
I can
that
be
one.
your long lost pal. I can call you Eddie. Eddie, you can call me. You can call me Al.
So looking to understand, and then solutions. It's like, okay, well, you can call me daddy. You can, we can do all these other things. These are options.
Yeah.
But it's a self looking at what I can.
It's looking at self. That's how you start with getting into alignment with you. And I love that you shared the information about feeding the light body. I dreamed about green last night.
Talk to me.
So beautiful. Now, I've been having these other dreams coming, right? I told y'all about the butterflies that came to life. And then there's this man, like I haven't been asking for a man or any of that. Remember, I said, I want to have the greatest romance that has never been told. Remember, I said that for this year. And I said, it's first got to start with me loving on me, right? And so this beautiful man keeps popping up in my dreams, y'all. I'm like, and whatever he says, I'm just like, I just melt. That's
your man, girl.
Yes. And so I was like, oh my gosh, this is like juicy. Ooh.
Do you know that when they come to you like that, can't nobody take them away from you?
Oh, I already
know that. He
doesn't have eyes for anybody else.
Custom
he is
made.
Just gaga over Trey. He is gaga over Trey. And so all I saw, so I was like, yesterday I was like, maybe I do want to do a reading with Mountain Spirit. Maybe I do want to do this. And then I said, who is this man? And so I went to sleep kind of with that in my head. And as I was waking up, I just started seeing like the color green. I didn't see anything else in the dream. There was nothing else. It was just green.
It's the breaking of the ice around your heart.
Mm-hmm.
When it breaks, it spills out like green ink.
That's what it looked like. Oh,
Yep.
See, you got me more excited now. But that's exactly what it looked like. Just green ink, like I was just in a sea of green.
That she did it.
So beautiful. So beautiful.
Very nice.
I ain't dreaming of no kind of
I'll
colors.
invite
I don't know
y'all
what's
to the
happening
wedding
over
and
here.
let you know.
I want to go to your wedding. I have my own wedding.
I'm coming to yours. It don't matter.
Oh, okay.
Yes, it's all love. It's all love.
I like this man. I like the way you smile when you talk about him.
Oh my gosh. It is tripping me out. It was at first, and now I'm just like, I hope I dream about him tonight.
He's not gonna mind any way you look. Anything.
Yes.
Like,
nothing. It didn't matter. In one dream, I was stuffing my face with nachos, and it just didn't matter.
He got them from the 7-Eleven for you. Girl, that's your man. That's a good man.
Right?
The man that goes to the 7-Eleven is a good man. Okay.
He's not bothering you. No, that wasn't
Part of the package.
Val.
It's part of the package.
Yeah, that's true. I'm just saying he's not bothering you. He's coming into your dreams. He's entering your life in a graceful and gentle
It's
way.
really gentle.
Borrowing money, taking your car, running it out of gas, running up your bill.
None
of that. What I mean? Harassing you, throwing vibes at you.
Right? None of that.
He's not doing none of that.
He's being green.
That's why I'm hung up on
He's being green.
He's being green.
That's your green man.
Oh my gosh.
Yes.
He's the green man. I want to be seen green.
Green.
Caught dead red. Let me go back to the Wiz.
In red.
Yes.
Dance, children, dance.
Everybody drank bug juice this morning.
We all had our own. And with that, we are complete this morning. But continue to ask yourself what you want. What do you want, Goddess? And back up and find a way to get it. Find a way to align yourself with it. And we are heading over to the club, y'all. We on our way to Clubhouse to continue this conversation as well as to share our gratitude, intentions, and affirmations of the day. I hope you really get into this intention part. Like, it is so powerful. All right. Bye for now. Sending you all much love. We'll see you back here bright and early tomorrow morning. Mwah, mwah, mwah.